What if I told you that for the same amount of time you take to watch an episode of your favorite Netflix series, that you can master the one tool that allows you to design like a professional design agency completely for free? Well, that's what we're talking about in today's video, because I am going to go behind my screen and walk you through step by step all of the hacks and cool features that I use to design everything on Canva for my brands. So let's get into it. Listen, most people are only using about 10% of Canva's capabilities. And what if I told you that you can use Canva to design almost everything for your brand, saving you the cost of a designer? Well, today I am going to walk you through the 4 major components that every brand needs to understand and how you can design for those components. I'm talking about social media, your website, your brand identity, all of it. We are going to walk through step by step in less than an hour all of the hacks, features, and tools you need to know so that you can master Canva. And if you're wondering why you should listen to me, well, hey, I'm Chanel Q, and I go by the brand hustler in the internet world, and I have been using Canva since 2018. I have built multiple 6-figure brands, both product-based, digital, and physical product based, and I've even used it for my brand educational company. And I'm telling you, Canva is the cheat code that everybody should be using. So grab your notebook and your laptop, because we're going to walk through in real time how you can master Canva and start designing for your brand today. But before I hop into that, I want you to comment what brand will you be using Canva for down below. Let me know the name and what it is that you offer, and let's talk about it, because you never know who could be your next customer. So let's hop behind the screen. Welcome to Behind My Screen. So the way that we're going to do this is I am going to go over it in sections, in 4 specific sections, with the first section being brand identity and visual consistency, of course. So the first thing is, when you go into Canva, you want to set up your brand kit, okay? So here's how you do it. You head over to canva.com. You're going to come to a home screen like this. Yours will more than likely not be as full as mine. I've been using Canva for many years in all of my brands. But whether or not you will see this home screen that says, what will you like to design today? In order to set up your brand kit, you're going to want to go to the left-hand menu. If you don't see it, it means that it's collapsed. So you may want to open it up, but it'll be over here where it says brand. You're going to click it, and it's going to take you to pretty much like your brand central, okay? And you want to make sure that you open up the menu so you can see all of these tabs. You should be able to see brand kits, brand templates, and brand controls. If you don't, then you're going to click that hamburger menu. Okay, I want you to remember that throughout this entire video. If you don't see something, make sure that the menus are expanded. So inside of this, you're going to click to where it says brand kits. Inside of your brand kit, you are able to set up everything from colors, fonts. You are able to upload your logos, secondary logos, symbols, all of that, all within brand kit. So the way that you'll do that is you'll actually click this button right here that says add new. You'll give it a name. So let's just say demo. You'll hit create. And then once you hit create, you'll see all of these different things that you can add. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and upload your logos. When you upload multiple logos, it actually asks which one is your main and which one is secondary. And you can set it up like that. Your color palettes, you want to go ahead and hit add new, and then you're going to add your hex code. So for example, let me make this a little smaller. Actually, let me just close out my screen. Okay, for example, one of the hex codes for red that's in our palette is BD000. You type it in. Oh, it didn't go. Hold on. BD000. There we go. You type it in, and then it's going to automatically turn to the color it is that you are setting it to be. I have another color. I believe our cream is EBD1BC. Yep. And bada bing, bada boom, and you start building out your color palette. Now, I have a recommendation for color palettes where I say that your color palette should be an array of colors. It's not going to be just two. It should probably be around 5 colors where you have some dominant colors, some neutrals, and an accent color mixed within. I talk about it in a couple of my videos, so I'll find a video where I speak about color palettes and I'll make sure to link it somewhere on the screen. And everything that I say in this video is going to be linked in the description, because this video is going to be a super deep dive and it will be a little bit long, but still quicker than anybody who's ever given you a rundown on Canva. I'm going to make sure that everything is linked below, so make sure to check it out. Then you scroll down and you're going to want to add your fonts. So you should have specific fonts to your brand, and you can add those fonts by simply hitting add new, and you can upload fonts that you download. So let's say you go to somewhere like thefont.com. When you go to thefont.com, they actually allow you to download fonts for free. There's some websites where you can purchase fonts, but if you had downloaded this font, let's say Packy Great, it was saved to your computer, and then you want to just go ahead and like unzip the file. And then once you unzip the file, it will create what's called a TTF or something similar. And you'll go into where it says upload font. You'll choose that font that you just downloaded. Once you upload it, it's going to ask to confirm that you have the right to use this, meaning that you either purchased it or you downloaded it with the correct creative use license. If you use thefont.com, it probably has a license. So just make sure that you're reading that. And then you can continue to add more, or you can just X out. And then what you can do is once you upload all your fonts, then you can tell it where to go. So you can choose a font from either Canva's fonts here, or you can choose from your uploaded fonts. So you see Packy Great is right here. So if I wanted that to be my title font, I'll just select it. And now it's my title font. And I can even say, maybe I wanted this to say main title. I don't know, whatever it is that you want to nickname this, you can. But for right now, I like to keep it titles, subtitles, headings, bodies, captions, quotes, stuff like that. Depending on how you use fonts for your brand or how you intend on using it. Maybe you're just using Canva for your graphic design for social media. So maybe you say like titles for carousels, body text for carousels, small little tips and hints or whatever. You can like rename all of these so that you know like what font to use for what. Okay. Then after you do that, there's an area where you can add your brand voice. Pretty much what you want to do is describe your brand's unique personality so that way it's saved within here. So whenever it is that you're using any of Canva's AI features to write something for you, it actually will reference your brand voice. Then if you have specific photos for your brand that you did, let's say a photo shoot or something like that, upload your photos here so that way they're all already here when it's time for you to design something. This is especially important if you have a certain campaign come up. Let's say that you are doing a special holiday campaign and you just did a campaign shoot for it. Upload all of those photos, the finalized photos, here, so that way it's easy for you to design all of your website banners, social media graphics, Instagram carousels, the whole thing. The same thing goes for graphics. So you can upload different graphics. What this pretty much means is like things like lines or certain patterns and stuff like that, you can upload here. And you can also add guidelines to all of these as well, but I'll go over what that is in a second. Then icons. These are things that you want to use for your brand that are small little symbols. So for my brand, for example, I have like a money bag and things like that. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. And I'll show you what I mean. I may not have it on this computer. Let's see. Okay, so for the sake of right now, let's say that my icon was, so I went to go find my icons for you. So for example, these are two of the icons that are designed for my brand. So one of them is like a little passport stamp icon, and then the other one is this little boutique icon. But I have icons for my product brands as well. You don't have to have icons. I just do for both of my brands because it helps. You can also put icons here that you use for your Instagram highlights, or maybe you use them in different places. Then this is something new, charts. You're probably not going to use that. So we don't even have to spend our time setting it up. If you do want to set it up, you can set up your preference for colors. And that way, whenever you need to create a chart, then that's how that works right there. Now, doing all of this allows you to pretty much set up a default for your brand. And so because you're setting up defaults, if you are going to have people join your team, or maybe you're going to hire somebody for a project and they're going to need access to, your team's Canva, because Canva for team is the same price as the Canva for one. I believe they still have a special where it's $12.95 for the pro account, and you can add up to 5 people on there. I'll leave a link down below where you can use it to sign up and start your Canva account completely for free. But afterwards, when it's time for you to start paying for your pro account, it's only $12.95. And if you add people, I believe the first 5 are free. But anyway, when you are uploading things, you can actually add guidelines. So you see where it says add guidelines, you can pretty much describe whatever it is that you're uploading. You can describe how to use whatever it is that you're uploading, which I find very, very cool because everything is housed in here. So you can literally hire somebody to, let's say, design a set of, maybe a set of 30 days of content for you. And you can say, hey, go in here. My brand guidelines are already built in Canva and they can read through all the things. So now, how do we use this, right? So we use this because if I were to go to a brand new Canva design, so if I were to start something brand new, all right, so let's say I wanted to actually create a new design or use a template, right? I can find any template that I want, right? Let's say I chose this template and I opened it up. Now, what you do is in the design itself over here, you click where it says brand again, right? And when you click brand, it's going to allow you to pick what brand kit you want to use. So let's say I wanted to use the demo brand kit that I just created. This is going to look terrible. So actually, I'm just going to click my actual product brand kit. So let's say I'm using HBU's brand kit, right? I select it and you're going to see that it loads everything up for it. It's going to load up all the logos that I've ever uploaded, my color palette, my fonts, any photos that I've uploaded, any icons, anything else is all going to be loaded here. So now the way that I apply this is I simply, let's say to change the colors, I simply click on my color palette and it'll automatically apply it. And I can continue to click as it shuffles through to see if it's something like, until it gets up something that I like. So then let's say that I like this, then I can hit apply to all pages. And now all of the pages are now that same color palette, right? And that same color wave. And if I didn't like it, I just click it again and it'll switch to something else. And then I can also apply that to every page if I wanted to change that, right? Oops, I accidentally applied the wrong one, but you get what I'm saying. Right? You get exactly what I'm saying. This is really cute. And that's how you would use it. And that's how you have default styles. By setting up your brand identity in Canva, you can pretty much design anything super quick and super fast. And when it comes to designing something, I highly recommend templating everything, especially if it's going to be something that you use over and over again. So this carousel, for example, is talking about the new arrivals and it's going through demonstrating 4 new arrivals. I'm probably going to have new arrivals, right? This is not my only time having new arrivals. I probably may have new arrivals every month or every other month or every other week. And so this may be something that I want to template because I want to have a distinct style associated with my brand. And so the way that I would do that is I would hit this share button in the top right-hand corner, click this button where it says see all. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click where it says brand template. When I click brand template, it'll load up. It'll ask me which brand, right? Where do I want it at? If I have multiple brands here, if I want it in a specific folder, who am I sharing it with? Am I sharing it with the team? Is this just going to be for me? And then you hit publish and close. And then pretty much when you go back to your, brand kit page, the templates will all be there. Okay. And then when it's time for you to design for new arrivals again, all you do is start from your actual brand template. So let's say, I actually don't want to share it with anybody because it's just a demo, but I can also copy this and then I can share it with anybody externally. But when it's time to use a template, you literally come in the same area where I click brand. Brand kits is the first tab, but then brand templates is the second tab. And you'll see all of the templates that you have for your brand. And you can click within here to use any of those templates, right? So you'll see I have templated for like HBU posts. So if I wanted to create new HBU posts that are carousels or static images, I open up this 57-page document and I pretty much have templated in here certain things so that way I don't have to think about it again. I could just literally come here and then adjust the template. The same way I would adjust the template that I got that's random is that same way. The last thing in brand kits that I want to show you is brand controls. This is important if you have a VA, if you have a team, if you're outsourcing design to somebody who needs to follow specific instructions. If you're not hiring an agency or a specialist in an area and you're hiring somebody that you're not paying specialist top dollar to, but you want them to still do a good job, this is how they remain consistent. So you set up things where you can restrict them to only use your brand fonts. You can restrict them to only use your brand colors. You can turn on brand assist, so where it will tell them, hey, this looks a little off from what it says in the brand kit. You can even turn on design approvals where everything has to get designed before they can download final high quality versions or publish high quality versions of it, which is super cool. Last but not least, I want to talk a little bit about logos because that is a part of your brand identity, right? When I say brand identity, is everything visual. So a lot of people come to Canva and they search logo and they use whatever these templates are. My recommendation, get somebody who is a designer, an actual certified skilled designer to create your logo from scratch. So for example, with our design agency, our logos are literally sketched out and then built from the sketch. Okay. And in one of the videos I'm going to link below, I actually show an example of it, I believe. But to stay on topic, I'm not going to try to pull that up right now. But that is going to be custom to you. That is going to be trademarkable, which I don't know if it's a word, but that's going to be trademarkable. When you use logos within Canva, it's very likely that you're going to find somebody who's using this exact logo. You see this planet logo? Somebody's probably going to use this. Somebody's probably going to use this Coco logo. Somebody's probably going to use this Retro Vibes logo. It's just inevitable because it is a template that people are going to click. And let's say my brand's name is not Coco, it's coffee or it's brown. It's going to be the same exact like layout. Now, in some cases, that may be okay for you for right now. But when you're trying to trademark something, just be very careful. And Canva actually has a full breakdown of its policies and legalities on if you can trademark certain things and what those things are. Typically, people don't read them, but you need to read them. Okay? Because some of these, they don't even allow you to be able to do something like that, right? So if you had to use a logo in Canva just to get started, because I'm all about getting started, I highly recommend don't use any of these that have any visuals in them. So you see how this says retro vibes and it has this visual? Don't use any of those. This one that says retro style with the circle, I wouldn't use that either. I wouldn't use this V-Star Films. I would use solely the logos that are solely like it's strictly font. It's type-based logos. That's what it's called. So Ego is a type-based logo. Lashes, this one that says the Peach Vegan Cafe. This vintage store, Studio Olivia Wilson, Not Today Club, all of those are text-only logos. I would use that for right now. And you get away with that. And if you're creating a logo for something that's not a part of your main brand, because for me, we create logos for smaller things all the time. So maybe we want to create a logo really quick for a campaign, or for my brand educational company, I might want to create a logo for a workshop. I will use one of these templates, but I have no desire to trademark the thing. Does that make sense? When it is something that's trademarkable, like an in-person event or like the brand takeoff or something like that, we actually created that logo from scratch, okay? But something that I'm gonna have like a virtual something where maybe it's like one time or whatever, I don't, you know what I'm saying, use it. So if you wanna do something Christmas themed and you're like, ooh, this logo that says Haven is perfect for our Christmas campaign, and you have what you call it, you don't care about trademarking it, go ahead and use it. All right. All right, so in this next section, we are going to be talking about social media content creation. I absolutely hate that you can't see my face, but for the sake of me not blocking anything, we're just gonna roll with it like this. So hopefully you are enjoying this. If you're like in this deep dive demo Canva mastery class, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and drop a comment below letting me know that you are loving this and you love this style even though you can't see my face. Okay, I'm all about making sure that I give you value, so I'm not conceited in that right where I just want you to see my face even though I look pretty cute today. But anyway, let's talk about social media content creation. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is that Canva actually has a content planner, okay? Because I'm about to show you how to design certain things, but I want you to know that you can actually plan your content in Canva if you just wanted a central hub to do everything. You don't have to pay for an additional tool. Get Canva Pro and you are good to go. So from your home page, what you want to do is head over to where it says apps. It's going to be the very last thing, at least if your Canva looks like mine. You're going to click it, and then in here, you're going to see additional apps at the top. There's so many, and they keep adding more because Canva is that girl. But if you go down to the bottom where it says recommended, you'll see it says content planner. You're going to just click it, and it's going to open up a content planner that looks like this. What I love about Canva is they actually put a lot of the international days on the calendar. So one of the things that I tell my students or any of my clients that I work with one-on-one when they're stuck with content ideas is one of the things I tell them is to think about what's going on in the world and how it applies to your audience. And so with that, typically like they'll search like national days or whatever and see which one of those people may care about. But Canva does a good job of putting days that you may not even know about on the calendar, which is really cool. But if you wanted to schedule content, you just make sure that you connect all your social media accounts by clicking this button right here. And you can connect any of these accounts as of right now. And then you can always come here and you can schedule a social media post. So when you hit schedule a social media post, they're going to pull up your projects. And so you can pick from your recent projects and you can say that, okay, this is what I want to post, right? So maybe I wanted to post this. I click it, it'll load up, and then I can write my caption right here, right? I can also select wherever it is that I plan on posting it to by hitting select channel and then selecting whichever one it is, and then I actually pick the day and time right here. And then bada bing, bada boom. And if you're not completely satisfied, hit save draft and then come back and then schedule it later. Now, I don't use Canva for this, but you can use Canva for this. I'm just showing you what's possible. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is how to design reel covers, carousels, and story templates. So let me tell you something, right? Canva is that girl when it comes to templates, period. Whether you find templates inside of Canva or whether you decide to go externally and find templates that you purchase and bring into Canva, the possibilities are endless. So literally, I just clicked where it says templates and you see all these cool ones. Like I love this, right? This is like a little Instagram post. I love it. But let's say I wanted to do a reel cover. I simply would just search the word reel cover and then I will see all the different templates that come up. Now you can be a little bit more descriptive. Maybe you want something for like fashion. So maybe I'll put like fashion, reel cover, or something, and then I will see what comes up. Okay, so I like this one. I love this one. So then literally all you do is hit customize a template, and then you'll see ones that are similar at the bottom, and then you customize a template. Now, why is it that you need reel covers? Because Instagram, you want to go for value as well as aesthetics. So you need to balance the two, right? So even though behind here may be like a video and it's not even like including this product, you want to give the aesthetic. I would recommend having a reel cover with the same product. But if for some reason you don't have a picture for it, then, make it do what it do. So yeah, you literally just hit customize and then you'll just switch out whatever it is that you need to switch out on this reel cover. And that's pretty much it. And if you layer it with what I just taught you about templates, once you're done designing this, however you want it, let's say you want to switch the fonts to your brand's fonts, You come in here, you go to brand kit, you switch this out, you switch it out to your actual colors, and then you save it as a brand template. But it's really so easy because if I wanted to use pictures, I'm pretty sure I have a picture that's uploaded. Let's say I wanted to use this picture, right? Instead, it's super random, a random picture, but we're going with the flow right here. Right, we're gonna go with the flow. Let's say I wanted to use this picture, I literally just dragged and dropped it and I removed the background. What's cool too is I could have dragged and dropped it into this place where she's at, and then it automatically takes the size of it. You see that? And then I can continue to resize it if I want to. And make it however it is that I want. And then I just save it whenever I'm done. You do the same thing for carousels. So you would come to this templates tab and then you would search carousels. And that's how you will find things like this, which is what we customized in the last one. So you see all of these are like new arrivals and really like trendy looking ones. So you can scroll through. I find that the home page, when you search, it's going to give you things that range from boring all the way to really interesting and creatively abstract. But when you click on them, then Canva knows that you like that style. So the ones that say more like this will be very on point. Do you see what I'm saying? Like these are very on point with that. But if I were to click something that's a little bit more simple and clean, like, which one do I want to click? This one's kind of simple. Let's say I click this one and I go down here, you see how these are like simple and clean as well. Two different vibes. So please pay attention, like click something, even if it's not you don't absolutely love it, click it so you can see more like it, and you'll more than likely find something that you love when you click that. Now the same thing goes for story templates. So if I wanted to go look for a story template, I would literally type in here Instagram story. I still have templates selected, so I type in Instagram story, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna search it and then pull up all of these different story templates. If it's something in particular you're looking for, like let's say skincare, I'll probably type skin and then hit enter, and bada bing, bada boom. And I get to pick whichever one that I'm going for. Maybe I want to show my product off, I click this. Maybe I want to show off models with, or a skin with some fun facts or whatever, I'll pick this. And then I just customize the template. And then once I customize it to match my brand, I just save it as a brand template if it's something I plan on using over and over again. Okay. Now, let's say I hit customize this template and then I realize, oh, this is so fire. I want to turn it into an actual Instagram post, right? Let's say you're like, this is fire. I want to turn it into an Instagram post. Well, you got two ways you can do this. And I'm going to teach you both ways because they're both a cheat code. If you wanted to add a post, obviously Instagram story and the actual Instagram post are two different sizes. So if you wanted to add a different size, you see that little arrow I clicked right next to add page, you would click that and then you can sort through to see what it is that you want to do. So we want to do an Instagram post and it adds the second page, and the second page is a completely different size than the first page. You can kind of see it here, right? And then what you can do is you can then basically copy everything from here, and then you'd have to align it yourself. And then you got to click the background image to copy the picture. And then you'll come through and you paste it, and bada bing, bada boom, you can do it like that. The second option is you can hit this resize option in the top left-hand corner. And then same thing, if you know the size, you can literally type your custom size. If you don't, depending on what it is, you go through the categories and then it's like, okay, we want it to be an Instagram post. We click it, and then you can either resize this design itself. Like if you changed your mind and you want it to be a post instead of a story, then you would click resize this design itself. If you simply wanted to duplicate this so that you can post it not only on your stories, but also on your post, then you would hit copy and resize, and then it'll load into a completely different design. And that design size will now be this new size, and it'll be automatically aligned and formatted for you like this, versus you having to do it manually yourself with copying all the elements and then aligning them. So that's how you do that. The last thing that I want to show you in terms of social media is something that's really cool that a lot of people do not know about. And that is you can have Canva write your captions for you. So to do this, you want to make sure that you open up a document inside of Canva. I've already done that, but if we go back to show you how to do that, you'll go to the home page. And on the home page, you see where it says doc. You'll simply create a new doc. That's it. And it'll open up something that looks like this. And in this doc, what you want to do is you want to open up Magic Write. So automatically when you come to the doc, Magic Write is going to be an option in the toolbar. You literally click it and then it opens up like this. And then this is where you'll see your brand's voice. Obviously, I'm using a demo account. I didn't set up any brand voice at all. So there's no voice for it to use. But if I did, let's say I said, oh, my brand's voice is elevated, chic, high energy, but sophisticated. That would be here, right? Actually, let's just say let me type this real fast. All right, so let's say I pasted what my actual brand voice is for my brand education company. So as you can see, this is how descriptive you want it to be, okay? I'm giving you more than Canva. I'm giving you a branded Canva masterclass here. So my tone is confident AF. I'm raw but refined. I give empowering big sis energy. I'm culturally fluent. I have strategic storytelling for my voice pillars. I'm strategic storytelling, CEO energy, brand first marketing, luxury hustle. Common voice traits are rhetorical questions, gifs and visuals, punchy one-liners. And I give an example. And then I use a combo of emoji and bold words. And if my brand voice had a tagline, it would be luxury strategy with a side of get your ish together, right? I'm actually going to switch this to say ish. And then I'll hit generate. And then it's literally going to pull together an example, right? But if I wanted it to write something specific, I would literally go and then I would say, okay, well, I would add that to my actual brand voice. And then I would say, hey, write. Right? If I had a voice, I would create a voice and it would be there. But I would say, write a caption for a skincare serum that reduces wrinkles and is specifically for women of color. And then you'll see that it writes a quick little caption. But similar to any AI tool, you got to feed it as much as possible. And then once you're done, you literally can copy it and paste it wherever you want. Or if you're making a full list of just different captions, you hit insert and you go to the next line. And if you wanted to write something else, then you just go ahead here and then you just Magic Write again. And then write whatever else it is that you needed to write. So that's how you can Magic Write for your captions. Next, we're going to talk about product-based assets. And that is going to be really, really fun. But I'm going to show you how you can level up your product images and things like that, and how you can make things for your products inside of Canva. And yeah. All right, so welcome to section number 3, where we are going to be talking all about some product-based assets that you can create inside of Canva. As always, you start from the Canva home screen, okay? Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about product mockups. So from the home screen, you can actually click where it says apps, and then you're going to see all the way at the bottom it says mockups. And that will take you to a page that looks like this. Now, there's 2 areas that you can find mockups in Canva. So you can either do it that way, or you can go to a design, and inside here, you go to apps right here, and then you search the word mockup, and then you have mockups here. Now, the cool thing is Canva has other apps as well. So you can do 3D mockup if you want to do Place It. Place It is another brand that just integrates with Canva. Mockup Studio is another one, which is really cool. So like this one, you can actually use AI for Mockup Studio. So I'm going to talk about these 2 in particular because they're my favorite. So let's go to regular mockups, right? So regular mockups inside of Canva, you can pretty much pick what style of mockup you're trying to create. So maybe we're going to do like a home and living. Maybe we have candles. right? We click it and then it'll pull up just some different options, and you pick whichever one it is really the vibe that you're going for. And if it's something where you need to create another design with, then I highly recommend picking a white background. And then all you do is remove the background and place it on that design. So maybe it's a website banner, maybe it's an Instagram post, maybe it's an email diagram or whatever. You can do something like that. But if it's not, and it's something that you want to be, like you want to make it look like an image for a background or for whatever reason, like you have all these cool options. And then the way that you use them is literally, let's say I click this one and you hit select, it's going to pull up designs that you've already created inside of Canva. And you can use those designs or pictures to put on the actual thing. So let's say I wanted to use this picture on my candle. It's probably not a great picture because it's not the right dimensions. But obviously, they'll show you how it looks, and then you can adjust as needed, and then you save the mockup. Now, the other way is using any of these apps like I told you, but one of my favorites is going to be Mockup Studio. So let's say all you do is hit open. And then in Mockup Studio, you're going to have the ability to pick a picture and then kind of describe what it is that you want. So let's say I really don't have a picture for this. Okay. So let's use, actually, this is one of my client brands. Actually, yeah, let's use her logo. Let's see how this turns out. So a billboard with my logo on it. I should have just said try an example. But anyway, then you click generate and then you just wait and you see what happens. Now it is AI, so it may be wonky, it may work, all the things, but the actual mockup tool that is natural to Canva is going to be the first tool that I showed you, which is this mockups. And then you can always adjust it left to right. You can hit fill and then you can drag the image down. So now when I hit fill, it'll look like this around the candle. Okay. And then you can just save this mockup and it'll save to your Canva account so you can apply it to the design, and then you can also download it. Let's go back and see. Yeah, and it did not do a good job. So, but if I had the plain earring image and I uploaded that, then I could have described it and said, hey, make this look like it's on a gold sheet. AI can't do specific things like how we have her brand name Brooks and Gems and all the things, because we actually designed her earring holder card first and printed them out for her. So we have those, but we also have the digital copy, and we were able to describe this and make this. But if you don't have all that, you can test it out using AI for now. Okay, so that's mockups. The next thing that I want to show you is packaging labels. One of the ways to do that is actually using mockups, where you want to design your labels. So you go to whatever dimensions it is via the Canva home. You create whatever the label is that you're looking for, right? So let's just look up label real quick. All right, boom. So this is an actual label. So I typed in serum label, and then I could customize this and tweak it to whatever I need. And then I can change the dimensions. Remember, I showed you how to change dimensions. If you forgot, go back to that section. You're probably gonna need to rewatch this over and over as you need different things. But you can simply open this up and then resize it. So if you don't need 6x4, but you need 2x3, open it up and click resize. But then you'll use that resized label. So let's just say that we are gonna use this. Let's just open it up so it can save to our account, so it knows that we like it. And then I'm gonna add an image of my face on this. I'm gonna add an image of my face on this so we know that it's edited already. So let's use the same picture. And I'll put it right here. Now this is not what I would do for an actual label, y'all, but I just want to show you the possibilities. So let's go back to, let's actually go to a serum. Oops. Oh, come on. It probably has it as like a dropper or something. Here it is. Okay, so I'd hit select, and then I'd click where it says designs, and then click this. Well, it didn't save it with my picture, but whatever. Click this, and then it'll automatically apply. And then, like we did with the other one, we can adjust it. So maybe we want it to fill all the way. We'll do something like that. Maybe we wanted to show more of the description on this side. Maybe we wanted to show the front end. You see how that looks? Now you see the brightening serum and you can see it. And if I wanted to show the description part, because maybe I needed that for the website, I can turn it around like that and show the description part. Same thing for any of these, right? But that is literally how you can get mock-ups of your labels. But then how you can create labels is simply by searching the label for whatever it is that you want. And then you can always adjust the size and it adjusts it automatically for you, okay? So don't forget, this resize is gonna be your best friend. So you'll know your actual bottle, jar, book size. You use custom size to your advantage. Now, the next thing that I want to show you in terms of products is how to create thank you cards, business cards, or maybe like little how-to inserts and things like that. You're going to go back to this template page and you're simply going to search thank you cards, but you're going to put what are you looking for. So maybe you want a general thank you card. Boom. You have these and then you can customize them, right? Let's do thank you for your order. We don't want wedding thank you cards. Okay, there we go. So you see how it says like thank you for your order, and then the back says your order made our day, and this one says thank you for your purchase, whatever. So you go through these, and let's say you really like this one right here, right? You click it. Once again, doesn't matter what the dimensions are because you can always change the dimensions. But all you do is just go in and customize it and then add your skincare tips. It's really that simple. Okay? I believe now Canva has packaging inserts. So you may find like how-to cards or tip cards or whatever in there. No, they don't. So you'll just use the thank you cards option and then you'll just customize it. Now, I do have a video about how to make thank you cards in Canva. I will link that on the screen. It'll also be linked in my description box. It takes you step by step on how to customize it because this is more of a fast-paced master Canva demo or tutorial. We're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of that because then we'll be here for 3 hours, okay? So go ahead and watch that video. Next, we're going to talk about digital products. So if you're watching this and you're like, I don't have a physical product, mockups, they have mockups for digital products as well, okay? So if you go here and you go back, you'll see that they have different ones. Like you have a laptop, tablets, they have books, all those types of things. So it's there. Now, if you are in the digital product world and you want to create your actual digital product here, I highly recommend using templates that aren't on Canva. You want to find templates externally because, in my opinion, the workbook and ebook templates are just not cute. So what I do is I go to Creative Market and Etsy.com and then I search templates. So maybe I want a workbook template. I'll put workbook template Canva and then it'll come up and I'll see different options. Same thing for ebooks, same thing for guides, same thing for checklists, whatever it is that I want. And then I import that into Canva and then I customize it. It's really that simple. So this is an example. So this was a template that I purchased on Etsy. And then you can input it here and going back to what we talked about in the first step. And this is why I did it in a specific order because they build on top of each other. You can just apply your brand kit. Okay. So, sorry, if pink and black aren't your brand colors, open up your brand kit and then you can shuffle through the colors here until you find something that matches the vibe that you're going for. It's that simple. Now, if you want an in-depth, step-by-step tutorial on how to create digital products, I'm going to link that video on the screen as well because I walk you through how I designed my beautiful digital products that people absolutely love and they actually read and complete because it's designed so well and the information there is valuable. If you want to actually buy one of my digital products and check it out for yourself because they give you knowledge and organization as an entrepreneur, but you can also see the proof in the pudding, you can head to hustlebabeuniversity.com and I'll leave that in the description box as well and also leave it in the pinned comment, okay? But this is literally how you customize it. Super easy, super simple. And like I said, template everything so you can redo it again, okay? Now, after designing all this stuff, you're probably like, okay, well, how in the world do I organize it? So the cool thing about Canva is you can create folders. So if you go back to your homepage, you see how there's all these different designs, right? There's so many designs in Canva that it can be hard to find what you're looking for at the drop of a hat. So what you want to do is you want to head to the projects tab, and then you want to create folders. So my EA, she has created folders, and she's created subfolders within these folders. So let's say I click, which one do I want to click? Let's say I click this TBH main hub folder. TBH is going to have a bunch of different subfolders underneath it. And then within those folders, you can store everything from different designs, different photos, all of that type of stuff. So we typically use our folders for photos right now because we upload thousands of photos every single month to Canva, and it's easier to find to put them into a design when you have folders. So we open up TBH home main hub, and you'll see she has different subfolders within here. And then within these subfolders, like let's say we click TBH content, there's going to be even more folders for YouTube, for Instagram, for my media kit, all those things. It literally is endless, and you can continue to add subfolders on subfolders on top of subfolders so you can get organized. And I may even do like a full like guide on how to do this and sell it with the Hustle Babe University's stuff. But yeah, that's how you would organize it. And then bada bing, bada boom. Welcome to section number 4, where we are going to talk all about website design and what you can do to improve your website using Canva. So the first thing that I want to mention is that you can actually build websites on Canva itself. Do I recommend this? Yes and no. No, if you're trying to build your full website that people could come and shop and buy your products from, absolutely not. Shopify is the GOAT for that. And if you are hesitant or you haven't tried Shopify for yourself, there is a link in my description where you can start your Shopify for just $1. Trust me, it's worth it. And I have Shopify tutorials on my channel as well. And I think it's in a playlist, so you can check it out. Now, what I would recommend websites for if you're using Canva is you can create a website that you can use as like your waitlist page if you're launching something soon, or maybe you are running ads to a specific product and you want that product to have like a main page. I would then recommend a website for it so you can run it straight here. But I would still embed the button to go to your Shopify website. Shopify allows you to do embedded buttons that take them straight to the checkout page, so they don't have to necessarily go to another product page to read information they already read on the initial page. I hope that makes sense. So how you can create a website in Canva is simply by going to their website templates, or go to the templates tab and type in website and then go from there. So if I found this website template that I wanted to use, the same like we did for all the other templates, you're going to go ahead and you're going to hit customize template, and then it's going to load up the template. Now, while it's loading the template, you want to make sure that you already have all of your images, all of your stuff ready, that you can just come in here and then customize the template, right? So as you can see, this is what this website template looks like. Is it fully loaded? Yeah, it is. This is what this templates page looks like. This is built as if it's going to be like a full website, but you can take out whatever you don't need, add something if you want it, and you customize it the same way you would customize any template. Once you're done with it, you can actually preview it in real time. It'll open it up. You can also preview it and see how it'll look on mobile. And then when you're done, you just hit publish. Now, the cool thing is you can actually connect a domain that you purchased from GoDaddy or something here, even if it's like anywhere that you purchase a domain from, you can connect it here. If you want to use Canva to purchase your domain, you can as well. And if you don't want to purchase a domain at all and you're okay having the Canva URL, then you can do that as well. So as you see, like I have the brand takeoff connected here, but maybe I don't want that. Maybe I'm okay using my Canva site, right? And then I can say skin demo. And now once I hit done and I publish, I could just, my full link is going to be the brandhustler.my.canva.site/skin demo. Yeah, obviously, if I connect my actual domain, then it'll be the domain, not this long thing. And that's literally it. Now, speaking about websites and different landing pages that you can create for your products, if I wanted this shop now to go straight to my product page, that's embedding it from Shopify. If you want me to do like a more advanced part 2 of Canva where I can include how you can do that, just let me know in the comments below and I will do that for you. And also it'll include like other things because there's just so much that you can do in Canva that this is for you to master it enough where you can do almost anything. But then if we're really trying to take it up a notch and get to the Canva expert level, there's probably like a part 2 and a part 3 that I can take you on. Okay. So pretty much that's that. And then in terms of banners, you would just need to figure out what the size of your banners are that you need and then design them. I have an entire video on how to design website banners. So I'll link that on the screen as well. And you can watch that as well. It goes in detail, step by step, how to design Shopify website banners. It talks about the dimensions, how to get like 3D effects, how to do everything, all within that tutorial. But you literally can also search templates. If you get nothing from this video, you can always start off with a template and customize it. If you want to start from scratch, I show you how to do that in my tutorials for each specific thing. But literally, I just showed you how you can have a website on Canva. I told you my recommendation. And then also this is how you can have create your banners inside of Canva. And you want to make sure that when you export these, that you are exporting them at a high quality rate that it looks right on your website. You also want to make sure that when you're sizing them, that you're using PX and you're sizing them to PX and not to inches or anything like that. It has to be PX. PX stands for pixels. Okay. So we've just went through brand identity and visual consistency, social media content creation, product-based business assets, and website and landing page design, all using Canva. It's a lot, but watch this as many times as you need to get the foundations down, because that will allow you to be able to use Canva on an everyday basis without stressing out. Now, if you do want a part 2, and possibly a part 3. If you do want a part 2 where we could go in more detail so that way you can get faster and become a Canva whiz, let me know down below. Comment the word part 2, please, and let me know specifically what it is that you'd like to see. And there you have it. You just went from a basic Canva user to a complete powerhouse in less than an hour. And guess what? You now have the tool and some of my favorite hacks and mini systems on how I have built beautiful designs for all of my brands. But here's the thing. Knowing Canva is only half of the battle. You need to put that with an amazing brand to really see results. And to help you out, I'm gonna give you access to my brand blueprint completely for free. This is gonna teach you how I built a bulletproof brand, and it complements everything that you just learned here today. Now, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, do me a favor and comment, "I am a Canva beast," in the comments to prove to me that you made it all the way to the end and you are a true hustle babe. And not only that, that you are about to level up, because baby, now you got some Canva gems, all right? And if this video helped you, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because I drop videos every single week on how you can build and grow your brand. Make sure that you follow me over on Instagram at The Brand Hustler again, where you can tap into entrepreneurial and branding insight. And please don't be stingy. Share this video with somebody that you know it can help. And other than that, I'm gonna see you in the next video, and I'm probably gonna see you for a part 2. So make sure that you request part 2 of this video if that's what you want. All right, I'll see you later, hustle babe. Bye.